Guys, it's Mo from Mo in the Deep End. It is Wednesday, hump day, May the 8th. So I don't, may you 8 on out of here. I don't know. There's not a fun punniness for the 8th. I feel like May gets a lot of puns and we really need to add more. Good morning. I have questions about everything. Dear and Phoenix, welcome. So my in-laws are coming over this weekend, somewhat unexpectedly. So I will be doing the oh my gosh, cleaning like a rabid hummingbird today, still knowing that I have to clean right before they come because my family still lives here. In other news, apparently Ohio State commencement speaker was on an ayahuasca trip while he wrote his cringeworthy speech peddling Bitcoin and forcing sing-alongs. I mean, if you're going to have to be at a graduation, you should always have all of the medications because oh my gosh, those things are long, usually hot and boring. No offense to anyone who graduates from these things. I just say, as a casual observer, if I'm not graduating, these things are forever long. And my high school did not have air conditioning, so a bunch of sweaty people in, you know, August or no, May. It was just an ugly, ugly thing. I have blocked it out of my memory for the most part, but it was terrifying. College grads weren't high on his hallucinogenic fueled speech. Ohio State University commencement speaker gave a cringeworthy speech to the graduates Sunday that included peddling Bitcoin and to a round of jeers and leading the crowd in two awkward off-key sing-alongs, thanks in part to help with AI, ayahuasca intelligence. So not real AI, but he's like, look, I know you're going to think this is weird, but Trippin' Balls Me is a genius. Good morning, Alice G. And hey, Joe, and Chris Rowland, and Squid Pro Quo. Welcome, everyone. So this is like when I joke about sober me, having to contract with not sober me. Or no, not sober me has to contract with sober me before we make any big purchases. It's kind of a joke because I don't get that, out of it. But for the love of all that is holy, this look, if it sounds good to have a sing-along when you are on ayahuasca, perhaps wait till you are off and, make sure it still sounds good. Social entrepreneur, investor, and alum Chris Pan gave the more than 12,000 students and their family a keynote address that was as unusual as it was memorable, and he admitted a week ago that it was written with the help of a psychedelic. Well, I mean, we're trying to redo the 80s. Maybe we can bring the 70s back too. The roughly 17-minute speech started out mundanely enough until he encouraged the graduates to stand up. Quote, I'd like to get started by moving our energy and getting our energy flowing. Oh my God, he's the Walmart, the one Walmart person that's really into the whole morning thing. Like, yes, I'm going to sell credit cards. Yes, yes, yes. This is the person that has taken it too far. Said Pan, who graduated from OSU in 1999. So if you're able to, please stand and follow my movement. Pan then proceeded to lead the audience in a singing part of the 1993 song What's Up by the Four Non-Blondes. Oh my God, you subjected them to that song? I love that song, don't get me wrong, but you have to acquire a taste for it. Holy fazolies, what is going on here? Why am I never invited to the cool graduations where someone's doing an ayahuasca written speech and we get to do cardio? Well, because I didn't graduate. Good morning, Jude. Pan then proceeded, the four non-blondes, and had the school leaders and faculty behind him swaying and waving their arms. Because, as you do. He subsequently led the graduates in a breathing exercise that's used by Navy SEALs to remain calm in stressful situations, perhaps to prepare them for some of the grim financial situations they may soon face in the real world. It was a perfect segue for Pan to talk about cryptocurrency. Quote, I know this might feel polarizing, but I encourage you to keep an open mind right now. I see Bitcoin as a very misunderstood asset class, which led to a chorus of boos. Pan attempted to work through the notable jeers before he deployed a magic trip to help OSU President Carl E. Carter Jr., or with the help of the president. Did anyone think I am in debt to the tune of $100,000 and this dude is doing a magic trick? I learned the magic trick last week and was just able to have this moment. Giblets. This man is like, look, I went on the inner tubes and I know what you young people like, and it's magic. So I'm going to do some Penn and Teller. I'm going to have you do some cardio, and then we get to go. He later promised free bracelets to everyone in the crowd as an apology for listening to me talk about Bitcoin. Pan later led the class of 2024 in another musical number, This Little Light of Mine, after he talked about how young adults can heal divisions in the world. I feel like I'm, you know, gosh, in that 70s show right now. What in the actual heck? Part of the oddities in Pan's speech might be traced back to what he used to help write it. Pan said in a LinkedIn post cited by the Columbus Dispatch before Sunday that he wrote it while on ayahuasca, which is a plant-based psychedelic from South America, according to the ADF, based in Australia. Okay. Quote, got some help from AI, ayahuasca intelligence this week to write my commencement speech for 60,000 graduates and family members at Ohio State University next Sunday, he wrote in the post. We are in challenging times and wanted something extra heartfelt. I mean, to be fair, when I'm tipsy, I tend to just talk about, random stuff, but okay, for a big giant. Oh, and I'm so glad to hear that the art therapy was definitely, something that you were encouraged by. So I think I go to the hippie pain clinic sometime this month. I'm not keeping track. Let's see here. Pan graduated from Ohio State in 1999 and got his master's degree at Harvard Business School. He's the founder of myintent.org, the mission of which is to facilitate, quote, meaningful conversations and positive energy. What the hell is this? I'm confused. What the hell does this company do? I mean, meaningful conversations. I do that here, sort of, with myself. Welcome all the Shizzy Raiders. Good morning, Deborah and JW and Shizzy and my Mini 67. Thank you for quietly lurking, Patrick W. Welcome. So, in addition to, fostering positive conversations and good vibes, apparently it also sells custom-made jewelry. Though on its website it says, quote, we're not a jewelry company, we're a service project. What in the absolute KGP word salad am I reading here? Well, I think it would KJP, yeah. An Ohio State spokesperson declined to comment on the Bitcoin reference when contacted by WCMH. In a press release about the keynote address by the school, it shied away from the more bizarre moments with the headline of Ohio State alum Chris Pan encouraged graduates to set sights on making a difference. Well, And good morning, my mama and Cynthia, retired firefighter, and Jariah. So yeah, possibly don't be, look, if it's a big crowd, it's a big event, possibly don't be tripping balls while you're, writing your speech. Apparently it could make everyone listen to the Four Non-Blondes again. And I do like that song. It's like forever long. It was so boring. In more serious news, a lot of us got very heavy, severe weather last night. Fortunately, it went sort of right through our area and only gave us a lot of rain and lightning, but no hail and other things. Destructive tornadoes and storms pummel Michigan Tuesday, and millions more face a severe weather threat Wednesday. Yeah, it looks like we're looking at more storms coming in tonight. Uh, so I hope everyone is safe. You know, check down at your local Red Cross, see if you can, help. Maybe just send bottles of water and things like that. If we all help just a little bit, I think we can, because we know the government is so swift to act. Um, no, I'm sorry. We don't, I don't do weird crypto. Oh my gosh, I got my first bot. Gonna do a dance because I got a bot. Oh my gosh. Fun Diane, I am so glad you are safe. But it was gnarly out there. It was really bad. And I heard that there was possibly some loss of life, so let's see what we can find out from the article. Powerful tornadoes and storms swept through southwestern Michigan Tuesday evening, destroying or damaging homes and businesses and injuring several residents. And millions more from northeast Texas to the Carolinas face at least a slight risk of severe weather this Wednesday. At least a dozen people were injured at a mobile home park in Pavilion Township following the tornado Tuesday, according to county official. The township is located in Kalamazoo County, where 15 to 20 people had minor injuries and were transported to the two area hospitals, according to the county's emergency management spokesperson, Andrew Alspach. In the neighboring city of Portage, so this would be close to where my husband actually grew up in, uh, oh God, what is the name of that? Valparaiso. So this is a fairly close, kind of just cross state lines. Um, someone's tr- so someone's trying to, oh, for the love of Cheetos, someone on oh gosh, on Rumble is trying to sell like Bitcoin stuff. So they just put random things in your stuff, and it's just like, what in that? I don't understand. Oh, okay. Yeah. It was so scary, but a bot just means that someone has put, I don't, they used internet magic to make sure that they could just put things in chats so that people might click on it, and it's generally a scam. And I don't want people scamming my audience. Okay, so the township is located in Kalamazoo County. Oh, no, wait. In the neighboring city of Portage, about 7 miles south of Kalamazoo. Pictures and videos showed a FedEx facility with significant roof and structural damage after the storm hit the area Tuesday evening. However, there were no serious injuries, a FedEx representative told CNN. That is wonderful. I I mean, I know it was probably scary as heck. I know that, they had to wait a while because of all the debris, but for everyone to be relatively safe, I mean, and because Shizzy and I were watching it, and there was just like another warning and another warning and another warning. It was just amazingly uh terrifying last night. About 50 people were trapped in the building due to downed wires. Taylor Coop, a spokesperson for Kalamazoo County Administrator's Office, told M Live, adding work to clear the wires was ongoing as of 9:30 p.m. last night. However, a City of Portage spokesperson, Mary Beth Block, told CNN in an email that the building had been cleared by authorities. Two tornadoes hit the Portage area Tuesday, the National Weather Service said. We have significant damage. I wonder, so this is what we're looking at as far as the mobile home park. And God love them. I wish every mobile home park would have a safe place for residents to go. Maybe they do. I don't know if they have a designated safe space, but if they don't, they really should. Trees are across many roads in the city, and several reports of gas leaks, Portage City officials said in a news release. The city pleaded with its residents to stay home and please stay off the road so first responders would not be stuck in. I will try to stop the rain. I'm barely functional with keeping myself hydrated, but I will try an anti-rain dance. Now, would that be the safety dance from We Can Dance If We Want To? Because I can do that. Let's see here. The village of Centreville was hit hard during a possible tornado on Tuesday, according to St. Joseph County officials. Multiple buildings and both residential and commercial, were destroyed after a possible tornado touched down in Centreville on Tuesday, according to the St. Joseph County Under Sheriff Jason Bingham. The storm damage ripped off roofs and flattened homes completely down, Bingham told CNN. In Branch County, 60 miles south of Kalamazoo, at least 7 homes were destroyed, according to Emergency Management Director Tim Miner, who added he was unable to get out and assess damage to other parts of the county. One city in the county, Union City, was under a rare tornado emergency earlier that went into effect when a large destructive tornado was over the area about 10 miles northwest of Coldwater and moving northeast at 45 miles per hour, according to the National Weather Service. According to the Storm Prediction Center, at least 9 tornado reports were made in Michigan on Tuesday. Hail the size of golf balls was also reported in some parts of the state. Let's see here. More than 34,000 homes and businesses in Michigan were left without power as of Wednesday, according to PowerOutage.usa. Everywhere in the Midwest, there are more than 60,000 residents elsewhere in Ohio that are in the dark. Governor Gretchen Whitmer, fresh from sucking the essence out of a gelfling, said her heart was going out to those impacted by the severe weather in southwest Michigan. The governor declared a state of emergency for Kalamazoo, St. Joseph, Branch, and Cass counties, she said Tuesday night. We will work with emergency teams overnight to monitor the situation, coordinate resources for those affected. Michigan is strong, and together we will rebuild. In a box. I don't think it's hers, though. I think it was a trophy, allegedly. Now, here, you guys, I just had a thought, which is random, but you know what? If those people that want peace and, are protesting for Palestine, if they went up to Michigan and they helped clean this up, were of service of, these people that have lost everything, I'd be willing to sit down and listen to them. I'm not going to change my mind, but you want to do something to help people right now. You want to get your message out, because I don't really care if you have a, hook or something you want to sell. If you are helping people out, this is the kind of thing that would maybe make it legitimate for you to be protesting. Just I will never get why they protest over the dumbest things, like Colombia is going to be able to talk to Israel to stop anything. And I don't really care which side of I don't really have a side other than, can we keep the service members the hell out of it side, because I come from a service family. But after Tuesday brought tornadoes, large hail, damaging wind gust, and heavy rainfall, mainly across the Great Lakes and Ohio Valley, much of the eastern U.S. braces for another round of storms Wednesday. More than 145 million people could see some sort of storms Wednesday from Texas to Maine. A population of over 2 million people will be under the strongest severe storm threat Wednesday. The Storm Prediction Center has issued a level 4 out of 5 moderate risk of severe thunderstorms across parts of southern Missouri, southern Illinois, southwestern Kentucky, northwestern, and central Tennessee. Severe storms in the area are expected to ramp up Wednesday afternoon, producing some strong tornadoes greater than an EF2, large hail greater than 3 inches in diameter, and damaging wind gusts over 74 miles per hour. I am so glad that they got Dorothy into the Twister, and that's how we're learning all these things. But can I kindly ask Hollywood to stay the hell away from Twister? Because they're making twisters. Tell me you are out of ideas without telling me you're out of ideas. Northwestern Texas to western West Virginia is under a level 3 out of 5 enhanced severe storm threat. That includes the cities of Memphis, St. Louis, Louisville, and Little Rock. So if you are in some of those areas, keep an eye on it. Don't get super Twitter pated, but make sure that your safe spot maybe has some things that you generally keep during this, season. Tis the season. And Fun Diane has a good point. PSA, when the roads are wet or winds are blowing, stay the heck away from us semis. A 25-mile wind gust can cause us to drift lanes. A 45-mile gust can roll a truck. So for your safety, stay away from us. Absolutely. And I will say, even as I drive the big people mover, the red Ford Transit with the mid-size height, I can feel the wind. We've driven to or through West Virginia, and that was scary as heck with the wind gusts and then the mountains and everything. Mr. Mo did a good job driving, but you could feel the car being moved and you would have to correct. Numerous severe weather or severe thunderstorms are likely Wednesday from parts of the middle of Mississippi, Ohio, and Tennessee valleys into the southern plains, according to the Storm Prediction Center. As severe storms hit, tornadoes, very large hail, and damaging winds are expected over that large area. They could have just said, all y'alls should probably just be ready for a storm. The greatest risk of flash flooding threat also overlaps with the severe risk of thunderstorms centered over Tennessee and Kentucky, as well as sections of neighboring states. Residents and visitors are advised to have multiple ways of receiving warnings and never to drive across flooded roadways. I had to have that talk with my middle daughter, who is learning how to drive, because when we had that, we have lower lying areas right as we get out of the neighborhood. So I was telling her, I think it's 3 inches of water can move a car because of all the kinetic force. So I was like, if you come to a submerged area, do not drive through it. Lower severe thunderstorm threats are from central Texas to the southern tip of Maine and includes the city of Dallas, Austin, Atlanta, Chicago, Washington, D.C., Baltimore, New York City, Boston, Philadelphia, Indianapolis, hello, and Charlotte. The threats are more likely to be large hail and damaging wind gusts, but tornadoes cannot be ruled out. And honestly, even the quick wind gusts, we have a lot of trees around us, and we saw one go down last year, and it blocked the road. Spring it has always been known for severe storms and tornadoes, and the spring of 2024 is no exception. There has been at least one tornado report every day since April the 25th, and a streak of 13 consecutive days, according to the Storm Prediction Center. A total of 287 tornadoes were reported in that time span. April to June is peak tornado season across the U.S., with May traditionally seeing the most tornadoes. It does fit because I had the youngest, most feral in May. It's like nature tried to give me some clues. Like, unto you chaos is born. This month is coming off a particularly active April where there were 300 tornadoes, the second most on the record, according to the center. And welcome, Fraud at Wrangler. No problem. Hey, we all got to do what we've got to do, and there's no shame in the replay game. So essentially, there were a lot of tornadoes last night, and Fraud at Wrangler gave Nanny Go a membership. So if you are in all of the gajillion states that I talked about, please make sure you have, a safe spot ready. You might not need it, but it's better to be prepared than to be, Twitter pated, because I would probably pick a fork and some aluminum foil. I am the most terrible person when I'm Twitter pated. I get nothing done. In FAFO, I guess, or I don't even know. A Maine woman screams, quote, "You don't think I will," at a boyfriend in a fatal shooting on newly emerged video report. Just what in the Walmart rapture is happening here? A Maine woman accused of, well, gunning down her boyfriend in a frantic 4 a.m. prank gone wrong last month can be heard screaming in the horrific aftermath on a doorbell camera through an open window, according to a new report. Olivia Babin, 20, faces charges of negligent manslaughter in the death of Daniel Ford Coates, 24, whom authorities say died because of a prank that they were doing in Bangor, Maine on April the 2nd. Quote, don't think I will," Babin is accused of saying before pulling the button on the force multiplier. Also, YouTube. I understand I'm not an authoritative source, but me having to change the names to creoles and, colloquialisms kind of takes away from the gravity of the video. So, or the situation. So could you please, I don't know, stop being a butthole to us, random media people. Newly unveiled Nest doorbell video obtained by the New York Post allegedly contains audio of the suspected unaliver repeatedly screaming at the mortally wounded victim, quote, "You're not dead." OF, a witness can be reportedly heard saying as Babin allegedly asked what to do. Babin allegedly ditched the force multiplier in a river, changed her clothes, then called 911. Prosecutors in court last month accused her of giving responding officers a false version of events, which witnesses and the video has contradicted. A friend of the couple told police that Babin took her boyfriend's force multiplier, removed the magazine, according to the local media, but there's still one in the chamber. Don't you always have one in the chamber? I I do feel it's part of the, yes, I know, but ads are, YouTube is being interesting here lately. She allegedly wanted to, quote unquote, scare women in the downstairs apartment during a 4 a.m. incident, the Bangor News Daily reported, citing prosecutors. But there was a round in the chamber, and Babin allegedly jokingly held the barrel to her boyfriend's forehead and pulled the. No. See, this is why you are. This is what I tell my girls, and maybe it's a little hokey, but I tell them every time you get into your car, imagine that you have a loaded force multiplier. Because if you don't pay attention, if you get distracted, that's essentially what it can be. So those of us who have grown up in, a culture where firearms were not verboten, we teach here's an anecdote from my youngest, most feral. I was reminding him that, if you ever find a force multiplier in the wild, do you play with it? No. He's like, where do you tell an adult? Yes, because it's not a toy. And even if you don't know if it's a toy or not, you don't touch it. And then my youngest, most feral said, okay, but what if we find a go boom device? We're just screwed then, right? He said it so deadpan. I was like, yes, if you find a nuke, we're all in trouble. young man. The autopsy found contact burns on his skin, according to the paper. His death was ruled a homicide. The group had allegedly been using non-street legal pharmaceuticals and giggle water before the slaying. The suspect is being held on $100,000 bail in the Penobscot County Jail. She's due back in court on the 10th. All right, y'all, I am not sure what Eurovision is beyond the parody of the Will Ferrell thing, but apparently it is starting off with pop and protests as, current thing protest is casting a large shadow on it. But someone's being birthed out of an egg, so I already think I'm gonna love this absurd hilarity. Competition in the 68th Eurovision Song Contest kicks off Tuesday in Sweden, with the current thing, protesters casting a shadow over the sequin-spangled pop event. Performers representing countries across Europe and beyond will take the stage in the first of two semifinals in the Swedish city of Malmö, and the second semifinal on Thursday to winnow the field down to 37 nations to 26 who will compete in Saturday's final against a backdrop of both parties and protests. Among the 15 acts performing Tuesday are a Croatian singer-songwriter, Baby Lasagna. Now I want lasagna. I don't like, ma'am, don't make yourself food references. Whose infectious electro number, Rim Tim Taggy Dim, is the current favorite to win, and the Ukrainian duo of Alonia and Jerry Hill, flying their flag for the, nation that's also in conflict, with the anthematic Teresa and Maria. Other bookmakers' favorites are non-binary Swiss singer Nemo, goth-style Irish singer Bambi Thug, Italian TikTok star Angelina Mongo, and the Netherlands' Joost Klein with playful pop rap song called Europapa. I don't know. Okay, just asking for a friend who's never watched this. How much audio bleach am I going to need for the earworms that they are going to put into my head? Because if I start, singing 99 Loof Balloons, I'm going to be a little peeved off. It is a catchy, soundtrack, but we don't understand what the heck the woman is saying. It's how I learned German. Security is tight in the Swedish city, which expects an influx of some 100,000 Eurovision fans, along with tens of thousands of current thing protesters. Israel is a Eurovision participant, and demonstrations are planned on Thursday and Saturday against current thing, which has left almost, look, war is bad. What do you want me to tell you? Israel's government warned its citizens of tangible concerns. Israelis could be targeted for attack in Malmo during the contest. Organizers told Israel to change the lyrics of its entry, originally titled October Rain, in an apparent reference to the Hamas cross-border October 7th attack that killed 1,200 Israelis and triggered this war. The song was renamed Hurricane, and the Israeli singer Eden Golan was allowed to remain in the contest. I muted you, sir. How are you back? Sorry, I'm trying to get this person who keeps putting whatever the heck in his stuff. Well, I think I did. Nope. Okay, mute forever. Yay. I'm learning all the things. Jean-Philippe de Tender, Deputy Director General of Eurovision Organizer, the European Broadcasting Union told Sky News that banning Israel, quote, would have been a political decision, and as such, one we cannot make. I don't think so. I do need to work on that. I will tell you guys I've kind of been higgledy-piggledy. I bought myself a square calendar that I can do dry erase stuff on because it's really important to me now with all the medication fun kind of flighty stuff for me to be on a good schedule and to do things. But I will put that on my list of things to do today because that is important. So Sweden's official, warning threat level remains high, the second highest rung on the 5-point scale after a string of public desecrations of the Quran last year sparked angry demonstrations and threats from militant groups. The desecrations were not related to the music event. Eurovision's motto is United by Music, but national rifts and political division often cloud the contest despite the organizers' efforts to keep politics out. Flags and signs are banned as apart from the participants' national flags and the rainbow pride flag. Well, of course. Flash fan, I am doing well. Thank you for asking. That means that the Palestinian flag will be barred inside the Malmo Arena contest venue. Performers are feeling political pressure, with some saying they have been inundated with messages on social media urging them to boycott the event. Quote, I'm being accused, if I don't boycott Eurovision, of being an accomplice to terrible, terrible things in Gaza. Germany's contestant Isaac said in an interview published by the broadcaster ZDF. He said he did not disagree. Welcome, Penny Ward. Nice to see you. We're meeting to make music, and when we shut people down and out categorically, there will be fewer and fewer of us, he said. At some point, there won't even be an event anymore. One person who knows how Univision unity can collide with bitter reality is singer Menzane Sengyan, who represented Russia in the contest in 2001. The country was expelled the following year for being Russia, basically. This woman, who I butchered her name, who performs under her first name, spoke out against the war. As a result, her performances were canceled in Russia and her music was banned from open places. The singer remains in Russia but has found it impossible to work. Quote, people are afraid to work with me here because they are afraid to have the consequences after. Problems that happen, she said. Despite the difficulties, she recorded a single called Candlelight, in which she is releasing on Wednesday as a message of hope. Well, I mean, this won't all be healed until Hollywood people badly sing Imagine again. Okay, all of Hollywood, everyone get up, put down your little children. I'm going to need all of you to insufferably sing Imagine again, and the world will come together. Or, you can even do, why has the 90s not had, oh gosh, aid songs, where they would work all together, all the singers together would sing like Peace for Africa or something. I can't remember. I was a small young one in the 80s, and my mom put me in corduroy overalls, which is still a crime in my book. The singer truly thinks that Russia will one day return to the Eurovision fold, but not soon. Maybe the next generation, she said, but for now, relationships are too complicated, and then that makes me sad. Because that's why people are not hearing each other, because we are separated from each other, and the thing is, music should unite. We are the world. Yes, yes, the world will not heal until all insufferable singers and Hollywood people come together and sing We Are the World. I may be asking because, it would be cringe-hilarious and I would have so much content. So it's not quite the The selfless act, it appears. Thank you, Tammy. And Captain Kern, thank you for helping me with the blank spot about what it was. I know. It it would be I just don't understand why. In sad news or odd news, Ric Flair seems to be having an interesting moment here later. Here. Uh, Apparently he got into a heated confrontation at a bar and was caught on video. Just assume you're being videotaped at all times. You're not paranoid, you're just being realistic at this point. We have turned into 1984 ourselves, and we even go out of our way to buy cameras for our houses so we can watch other people without leaving the comfort of our desk. Also, I need to get a Ring doorbell, but that's completely out of. Look, it's okay if I become Big Brother to myself. Video has emerged from the incident that caused professional wrestling legend Ric Flair to say a Florida restaurant disrespected him more than he's ever been in his entire life. Flair was in Gainesville celebrating a family member's graduation and had a heated interaction at Paisano's stone-fired pizza location. The video, appearing to be surveillance footage from the restaurant, made its way to social media on Tuesday. It starts with Flair, 75, telling an employee at the bar, quote, "I didn't do anything wrong except spend money and put this place over and bring my family and friends here. That's bad for you." The employee asked why it would be bad for him, and Flair warned that he would take the establishment to task on social media, a vow Flair ultimately followed through on. Flair asked the man behind the bar his name, which he responded, Nicholas. Nicholas what? Nicholas D. Head? Flair he was coming out with the zingers. Flair said again that he didn't do anything wrong, and the man accused Flair of accosting the restaurant's manager. Flair said he didn't touch the manager, and the employee said Flair cussed at him. I didn't say one cuss word, Flair responded. Flair offered a female employee $1,000 tips to tell the male employee that he was arguing with to kiss my A. And I would probably take the $1,000 tip. The man at the bar clarified that he was not asking Flair to leave, but said he was cut off, presumably from further alcohol service. Flair called the man a dip poop twice and told him to come outside and talk to me like a man. Sir, you are 70. You are 70. Do not fight you might be in great shape for 70, but let's not resort to fisticuffs. At this point, a patron at the restaurant asked Flair's, "Do you want to come outside and talk to me in the parking lot? Because I don't give two S's." On Monday, Flair posted on X about his dissatisfaction with the restaurant. Quote, "I spent $1,500 at Paisano's SPFP, to be disrespected more than I ever have been in my entire life." Now, I want to point out that he starts every single word with a capitalization. I don't know if that's something that people do on X, because why? But after taking 20 pictures with the customers and staff, I was asked to leave because of an issue I had with the kitchen manager taking too long in the bathroom. I would highly recommend that anyone who wants to enjoy a relaxing time in Gainesville at a nice restaurant not visit this place. Whoa. Yeah, let's just not have fisticuffs everywhere, because it's just not a good idea. We're trying to help the elderly. In other news, the world's oldest known wild bird, Wisdom, is 72, and he's still quite spry. He's still quite spry. He's looking for new mates, so if there's some young birds around, He would like their numbers. The world's oldest known wild bird may have lost her mate, but she was recently seen courting new suitors. The Laysan albatross, or mole, known as Wisdom, has been photographed dancing with potential mates at the Midway Atoll National Wildlife Refuge in the North Pacific Ocean, according to SWNS, the British news service. The seabird is recognized by her well-known band number Z333. She is thought to be around 72 years old. Wisdom has only been seen sporadically since arriving for nesting season in late November, according to reports. In March, she was spotted socializing with male birds. She's a Blanche. Look, you get a Blanche in your life, that is awesome. Her longtime mate, a Kikamani, has yet to be seen this season, and he was not seen during the last two nesting seasons either, according to SWNS. Mole females lay a single egg for the first half of December, said Jonathan Pilsner, supervisory wildlife biologist in the National Wildlife Refuge. That didn't stop the 72-year-old from, going out and having her Blanche time. This is how she got her groove back. How Wisdom got her groove back. She went on an island vacation. She was still actively courting other birds in March, Pilsner told the U.S. Fish and Wildlife Service. She's quite spry for a septuagenarian. Biologists first identified and banded Wisdom in 1956 after she laid an egg. Large seabirds aren't known to breed before the age of 5. It is estimated that Wisdom has produced 50 to 60 eggs and as many as 30 chicks that fledged in her lifetime, according to Pilsner. Each year, millions of seabirds return to the Midway Atoll National Wildlife Refuge in the North Pacific to nest and raise their young. It's a sanctuary for millions of seabirds, shorebirds, and various marine life who all call the island home after we nuked the hell out of it. Or, no, that was Bikini Atoll. Pay no attention to me. Midway is a completely different genre of movie. The purpose of Midway Atoll National Wildlife Refuge and Battle of Midway National Memorial is to serve as a refuge and breeding ground for migratory birds, monk seals, sea turtles, and other wildlife, while also protecting cultural resources from the commercial Pacific Cable Company to the historic Battle of Midway, the site notes. Several years ago, Fox News Digital reported that when not laying eggs, Wisdom spent 90% of her day at sea feeding on squid and fish eggs. In the past, many albatrosses were banded with aluminum bands that sometimes became corroded by the sand and salt water. These early bands would often fall off in 20 years or less, the U.S. Wildlife and Fish Service said in 2018. But the same is not true for Wisdom, who was reportedly first banded by a biologist named Chandler Robbins in 1956. Experts have replaced Wisdom's bands over the years. The Laysan albatross, known as, I'm going to say a mole in Hawaiian, is a long-living seabird that pairs for life with a single mate. The birds are named after the breeding colony of 145,000 pairs on Laysan, one of the northeastern Hawaiian islands located 930 miles northwest of Honolulu. I would love to see the Midway Memorial. I would love to go to Hawaii, but I'm not flying anywhere until these insanity people tell me if something is, if all the planes are fixed, or I'm going to have to get my own pilot's license because I just don't trust y'all at Boeing. So have a wonderful day. I am going to start cleaning like a madwoman, and then I'll have to re-clean, but at least getting some of the ancillary cleaning stuff done before my in-laws come in tomorrow, because They're so sweet, but it's just like, oh, for the love of Cheetos, you have to do that Twitter-pated cleaning like you are doing a speed run. And I don't know if anyone else has this, but I have cleaning ADHD. So I will start, doing something and then I have to move something to another room. I see another mess and then I start working on that and I've completely forgotten about the first part. So I clean chaotic neutral. So, yes, I will be doing my ADHD cleaning. I will work on a members video, and then I think I have an idea of how I'm going to do the Donna and Wendy video. So I just need to work on that a little bit today. Just a reminder, I will not have nightly news tonight. It's technically Mr. Mo and I's date night, but I think we'll be carpet cleaning as one does. Nothing is more romantic than carpet cleaning. Have a wonderful day. Say something kind to yourself, say something kind to others. If we all just work on our little circles, then we can't fix the world's problem, but those circles will connect. At least I believe it. Have a lovely day, guys. Bye.